Hello, everybody. My name is Drasnae, and welcome to my castle.
Texas sun.
Life update. Whilst here in the African bush, I have been struck by a powerful symbol, a life-sized rhino sculpture made entirely out of metal snares that once used to threaten wildlife. Now, each one of these metal snares has been repurposed into something beautiful, a magnificent piece of art that you see before you. I even went on one of these patrols where we removed these snares by foot and even encountered live, free, roaming giraffes. Interestingly enough, giraffes only need about 30 minutes of sleep to function day to day. So if these giants only need half an hour, maybe Gamer Sups can help me do the same. Sponsor me.
Brother, may I have some oats?
Now, let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the video. Just last week, Microsoft announced that they would be raising the prices of their games to $80 by the holidays 2025. In addition to this, recently, Microsoft has also raised the prices of their consoles by 20 to 27%. So an Xbox Series X right now costs you about $600 to $730 US. This follows the recent jump from $60 to $70 for most AAA titles coming out today. And just 2 years ago, we were comfortably paying $60 for almost everything. Now, the era of $80 games has arrived. Even Kotaku notes that all first-party games from Xbox and similarly Nintendo's Nintendo Switch 2 will probably cost $80 in the very near future. I mean, heck, even Sony just raised some PS5 prices just last month. So things are not looking too good, folks. Now, the global gaming market is immense. Almost $188 billion in 2024 alone. And the budgets for these AAA games are ballooning into the hundreds of millions. The cost of development is only growing faster and faster. Cyberpunk 2077 cost $313 million. Final Fantasy 15, $275 million. In general, a regular average AAA game goes from about $60 to $80 million to develop. Publishers are seeing these numbers and pushing up their prices just to save their profit margins. Still, $80 is shocking for so many gamers. Hell, even Nintendo products are seen as pricey nowadays. The same company that used to sell $20 Wii games and dropped the price of the 3DS. And many other YouTubers are complaining about these same anti-consumer practices. And a lot of them inspired me to make this video today.
No. I am starving, brother.
But here's the irony. We as consumers are a part of the problem. We love these games and we keep buying them. And industry analysts have noted that 20 to 30% of a game's first year sales come from pre-orders. So when we go ahead and plonk down money before the game even launches, that shows these companies, oh, so we can make that much money on day one? And we are guaranteeing these video game companies massive early revenue. So we clamor together to get our copies and fancy collector's editions. Meanwhile, these companies are encouraging that. They give us discounts and bonuses on these pre-orders just so that they can rake in the cash and validate their own, let's just say it, evil practices. Now, I'm not saying the video game companies themselves are evil. At the end of the day, nobody is applying to work at a video game company as a dev, as a publisher, or as a director because they hate video games. Everyone in all of these studios and all of these companies has a love and passion for games, just like you and me. The evil comes from the system in which these video game companies have to exist in, the capitalist system. But that, my friends, is going to be a video for another day. Now, this dynamic can encourage some very costly games. When producers see, oh, we can make millions of dollars on day one, let's throw a bunch of money into marketing, voice acting, crazy graphic, and we end up paying anyway, just for us to end up getting a extremely rushed launch and buggy games on day one. Yet we continue to keep pre-ordering and paying. Now, an example of a rough launch is the famous Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, released in November 2022. That game released unfinished with terrible graphics and insane game-breaking bugs. Nintendo even apologized for this after critics berated them for how terrible this launch was. And then they released DLC for this game that did not fix a majority of the issues that the game had, such as frame rate, glitches, and just general performance issues. Then they have the audacity to fix all of these issues on the Nintendo Switch 2, which sounds nice if you are like me and own a Nintendo Switch 2. But if you still have a Nintendo Switch 1, Scarlet and Violet still runs just as bad today. And you probably paid more than $60 for that game if you got the DLC as well. Yet now, we all stand here happy, hype, excited, and giddy for Pokemon Legends ZA, as if none of this terrible business practice and anti-consumer moves even happened or mattered. In short, we gamers keep chasing the next title so eagerly that companies feel free to cut corners and raise prices. If we will not punish an unfinished game or an $80 price tag by not buying, then these companies have no incentive to change their ways. These publishers, console makers, and game devs all run on a capitalist model of endless growth. They legally have to chase higher profits and grow infinitely on finite resources. So yes, the system itself is flawed. But while we work on bigger changes, like the change of regulations and the questioning of capitalism itself and the breakdown of capitalism itself, for right now, we have control over our own habits and our own spending. So maybe hold off on that pre-order for a little while and hold off on that new AAA game title until it maybe goes on sale. And then maybe our wallets can start changing these money-hungry corporations built on a capitalist model of endless growth. If we take away that endless growth, we take away their incentive to treat us terribly as consumers.
As am I, brother. The tall, skinny figure has thrown the oats at me. Me, brother.
So what can we do? We can start by being a little bit more mindful. Maybe wait for a review and some patches to come out before you buy the game day one. Ask for transparency. If prices rise, tell us why, and we should demand to know why as consumers. Use consumer reports or social media to push back on these terrible anti-consumer practices. Use your voice. Comment on these platforms, telling them that these upgrade packs and these DLC passes and these subscription models that don't offer much new content outside of skins feel like gouging us. And most importantly, we should be speaking with our wallets. Maybe spending our money on video games and game devs and indie games that actually give us complete experiences. For example, Hollow Knight Silksong is a brilliant indie game. One of the most anticipated games of the year. And after it released on September 4th, it's one of the highest rated games of 2025. And it is only $20. But let's also keep some perspective. Games, at the end of the day, are ultimately meant to bring us joy. Games allow us to explore far-off worlds, create memories with our friends, experience joy in places that would be impossible to experience otherwise. And much like my own adventures in the bush bring me unexpected joy, remember that rhino sculpture that I just showed y'all at the beginning of the video? That is proof that something born of cruelty and malice can be turned into art and hope. We can do the same in the gaming industry. We can turn our frustration into informed choices. We can turn our stress into laughter over a good headshot or a well-timed green shell throw. And I mean, hey, after all, if giraffes can survive on almost no sleep, then I think we can all survive without that pre-order in our Amazon cart. In the end, the industry is only as greedy as we allow them to be. And our motto here is be yourself, follow your dreams, and have fun. Let that guide how we play and how we protest. Let us calmly call out bad practices and at the same time celebrate the magic of gaming. Because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, this entire multi-billion-dollar industry would not exist without people like us who love playing games. So let's keep playing, just a little bit smarter and a little bit kinder to our wallets and a lot more of a focus on the fun. Now, if you have watched the video all the way to the end, I want to say thank you. You are helping support a creator who is following their dreams, who has given up everything to be out here doing what I love doing. So seriously, thank you all for allowing me to live my dreams. Thank you all for watching, subscribing, commenting, liking. My channel is growing every single day because of you, and that I'm eternally grateful for. So please have an amazing day. Give a compliment to somebody. Say something nice to yourself whilst you're there, and just have some fun. Be yourself and play some damn games. And also follow your dreams. I have been Drasnae. You have been my amazing, wonderful court. And I bid you adieu.